What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going to be doing 6 different isolated shiny hunts at the lake in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And of course, guys, you're new to the channel, enjoy these types of videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Now, to begin, we're going to be going to the lake, and it actually doesn't really matter where you start here because we're going to be doing a run-around isolated hunt at the lake. I do prefer the bottom half of the lake most, and probably from where I am right here, probably to about right over here is the area where I'm going to be running around. But pretty much any one of these areas around the lake will have the same spawns besides over here. That's going to be completely different spawns. But just to make sure, I think this is just the best area to run around in. It gives you the most spawns in general because it's so wide, and you don't have to really run too far around either. It's like a nice little contained area. So I'm just going to be starting here, and of course, before we start our shiny hunts or anything like that, we're going to save our game. The reason why we save our game before we do our picnic is because just in case you don't get the shiny in 30 minutes, you don't waste your Urban Mystica, which would be pretty devastating if you accidentally wasted it. So now we're going to do a picnic here, and the first Pokemon that we're going to hunt, which I have not featured on the channel before, and was sort of the whole idea of doing this video, was we're going to be making a grass type sandwich because we're going to shiny hunt Tropius here. So the grass type sandwich we're going to use is going to be 1 lettuce, 1 salty, and 1 sour. And there we go. We got sparkling title encounter for grass type Pokemon and ready to begin this shiny hunt. So like I said, this is a run around hunt. So we're just going to get on our ride Pokemon and run around the lake. There are going to be some static spawns that will always appear, but you know, we're going to be getting nearly just mostly Tropius. And the shiny for Tropius is very obvious. It's gonna be, instead of this like dark green as you can see on the screen, it's gonna be more like this lightish green, sort of like a brownish green color, like a dried out leaf. And I actually really like it. And Tropius does not have a group spawn, unfortunately, so you are going to be doing individual spawns. And I actually do think this is going to be one of the best methods in the game to shiny hunt this guy. We actually did this on our stream just the other day, and we got it really quickly. So if you have the shiny charm and a shiny sandwich, you may be able to get this within a sandwich or two if you have some good RNG going for you. Now I'll mention the ruins here will have their own spawns, so there's actually no point in like going through the ruins. You can go past them, but the ruins will have their own spawns. As you see, like there's like bronze on there. So nothing you can really hunt using this method for that location. But you can see we're just walking around. We're not sprinting. If you sprint, you will probably go too fast for a lot of the spawns, and then you have a lot of spawns up here behind you, which you don't want because, you know, you can't really check on the Pokemon behind you if you are moving forward. Like, it wouldn't be too easy. But you can see the amount of spawns we're getting right at this location here. Like, this is a lot of spawns, honestly. And then you can just head down here, and once again, they keep popping up. It's sort of crazy. And if you try to do a flying type sandwich here, you would be getting about 6 different species of Pokemon, which was my original choice to do this, and that was definitely a big mistake. A grass type sandwich is definitely not one of the good sandwiches to do in the game, but for this area, you actually can isolate hunt something with a grass type sandwich, which is completely rare actually, because you usually get something like a Hoppit or like a Skidoo or something along those lines. Well, you do get Go-Goats here if they are on a mountain tile, so anything that is this gray rock is a different tile than the grass, but only in the grass you'll be able to get Tropius. So that's a fun little thing. Like, yeah, technically Go-Goats do spawn, but you know, it's not something that you should actually consider or really worry about. Then you can head all the way down here if you would like as well. You don't have to, but it's not terrible. You still get some good spawns here. It's just a nice little path. You don't really have to pay attention too much. You can just pretty much walk straight. You could try to get more spawns by going more left to right. And then at this point, I wouldn't go too further past this location. About when you get to this rock right here, it's probably when I would actually start turning around. Like, you can keep on going, but because the part of the map gets like really skinny here, which means you're just gonna get less spawns, and it's honestly not that worth. So this is pretty much as far as I would end up going. But yeah, you're just gonna keep running back and forth till you eventually get your shiny Tropius. And that one took us a minute, but hey, we got it within the first sandwich, and there we go, shiny Tropius. As you can see, it's a very nice looking shiny. Actually, I'm such a big fan, but that wasn't bad at all. One sandwich, shiny Tropius, absolutely beauty of a Pokemon. And yeah, they're going to be high level, so you definitely want to bring like a high level False Swiper. I just use Gallade, honestly. Use like False Swipe and Paralyze. But there we go. That is Shiny Tropius, and let's move on to our next Shiny Hunt. Now for our next Shiny Hunt, we're going to be making a Fairy type sandwich where I'm going to be using 1 tomato and 2 salties. And there we go. We have Sparkling Title Encounter for Fairy level 3. And ready to begin this Shiny Hunt. And for this hunt, we're going to be getting cluster spawns of Marill and Azumaril. And this is going to be a really nice hunt. This is honestly one of the best areas in the game to do a run around hunt. And yeah, as you can see, we're going to be getting 4 Marills and 1 Azumaril per cluster. Shiny Marill is going to be green and Shiny Azumaril is going to be gold. This is the only fairy type that is going to spawn in the area, so I would not recommend doing a water type sandwich, as you would also proc Tatsugiri and Slowpoke appearing, so it wouldn't be very isolated. But you can see lots of spawns, and you should probably get one within 30 minutes, maybe even 2, honestly, if you have a shiny sandwich and the shiny charm. Now for our next shiny hunt, we're gonna be making a bug type sandwich by using 1 cherry tomato and 2 salties. And there we go. We got Sparkling Title Encounter for bug type Pokemon and ready to begin this hunt. So this hunt, we're gonna be able to hunt for shiny Scyther, which is really dope because shiny Scyther is an awesome Pokemon because you get shiny Scizor when you do a trade evolution with a metal coat. So we're looking for a pink Scyther. So it's still gonna be green, but the parts on it that are white on its body are going to end up being pink, so it's gonna be very obvious. It's gonna be very similar to the Tropius hunt, as it's the only bug type that spawns in this area, and you get this similar amount of spawns. They're gonna be like isolated spawns that spawn around you, which is pretty nice. Hopefully you get one within the 30 minutes. This could take a sandwich or 2 because it is always harder when it isn't a group spawn, because you are just naturally getting overall less spawns because each spawn is only 1 instead of the 5 per spawn point. We actually got this shiny relatively quick. There we go, shiny Scyther. Very obviously, the green is darker, and it's very obviously a pink shiny. And the shiny Scizor is very nice too. It's that nice green color on the metallic style on it, so that's going to be awesome to add to your collection. And now let's move on to our next shiny hunt. And now for our next shiny hunt, we're going to be going for psychic type Pokemon. So I'm going to use 1 onion and 2 salties, and we're ready to go. There we go. Level 3 Sparkling Title Encounter for psychic type Pokemon. And for this hunt, we are going to be able to shiny hunt for Slowpoke and Slowbro in cluster spawns sometimes. So it is going to be mostly Slowpokes for sure. But if you see a Slowbro, it's going to be in a cluster with a bunch of other Slowpoke too. Now, the tell for shiny Slowpoke is very hard. It is going to be a lighter pink color as the overall body. However, a sure tell is if you want to check the mouth of each Slowpoke that you walk across, the shiny one is going to have a red mouth inside of it. So that's the best way to tell. But if you get pretty confident and you can tell the difference between light pink and regular pink, then, you know, it won't be too hard. But I know this is one of the harder hunts in general. But you can get the clusters of Slowpoke and Slowbro. It's just a little bit rare. And the Slowbro, luckily, is a very easy shiny to tell. It is going to be straight up purple, so it will stick out like a sore thumb. You don't have to worry about that. But for Slowpoke, it's going to be a little bit harder. But as you can see, you know, we finally got our first Slowbro cluster. So there you go. Good luck to you guys on this hunt, and we'll move on to the next. For this next hunt, we're going to be making a normal type sandwich, and with this, we're going to need 1 chorizo and 2 salties. There we go. Sparkling Title Encounter level 3 for normal type Pokemon, and with this sandwich, we're going to be able to shiny hunt for Staraptor exclusively, which is pretty cool. You don't actually get Staravia or Starly in this area. It's only going to be Staraptor, so it's not going to be the best spot for those guys, but if you just want the last form, this is going to be a great area. Now, shiny Staraptor, very obvious to tell. It's going to be a much lighter brown. Instead of the red mohawk, it's going to end up being a blue mohawk. Now, the big thing with these guys is they are aggressive, but you do got to worry about them flying away. So if you do happen to see one, you can just target it by hitting LZ, and then you can throw a Pokeball at it if you see your shiny. Of course, I always recommend saving before you actually encounter a shiny, just in case something bad happens. So keep that in mind too. But this is going to be in the same relative area. You just want to go all the way down, individual spawns, similar to Scyther and Tropius. And, you know, you'll eventually get one if you're lucky within the 30 minutes. I think for the individuals, as I said before, probably take 2 sandwiches to get one of these, because the spawns aren't as crazy. And it seems like Staraptor does not have the craziest spawn pool compared to something like Tropius or like a Scyther. I'm noticing I'm getting a little bit less than I was getting for those, so keep that in mind while you're doing this hunt. And now let's move on to our next one. Now for our next hunt, we're gonna make a dark type sandwich exclusively for Pokemon Scarlet, because we're gonna be able to hunt for Stunky here. Now, if you did a poison type sandwich, you'll be getting Toxicroak and Croagunk. So if you are in Pokemon Violet, you could make a poison type sandwich for that, but I actually do think you get Gulpin and Swalot, so I don't think you're going to be able to get a good hunt from this, but you can try it yourselves. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to test it here. And there we go. We have Sparkling Tidal Encounter for dark type Pokemon. And I will mention that you also want to do this during the day, because if you do this at night, you will also be getting Murkrow. So you can see we're getting clusters of Stunky and Stunktank. This is very similar to the Marill Azumaril hunt, as pretty much you're only going to be getting clusters of them. You're not going to be getting individual Stunkies and Stunktanks, which makes this a phenomenal hunt to do, and maybe even the best area to actually hunt these guys in the game. So these shinies are very obvious. They're going to be red. Both Stunky and Stunktank are going to be like a bright red color. You're going to be able to see them from a distance. You won't be able to miss them at all. And because the spawns are so good, you should probably be able to get one of these in a sandwich or two, maybe even more than one in the sandwich if you want to get the full shiny family. Now, I said we had 6 shiny hunts, but we actually have one more bonus hunt, and I do label this as a bonus hunt because it's not as good as the others in a way. So we're going to make a rock type sandwich with a jalapeno and then 2 salties. There we go. We got our rock tidal encounter and sparkling power at level 3. And with this shiny hunt, we are going to be able to shiny hunt for Chewtle and Drednaw. The reason why we do a rock type sandwich here is because Drednaw is water rock. So we all get cluster spawns of Drednaw and Chewtle. Now Chewtle is a mono water type, meaning it is not going to get a shiny boost from this sandwich. However, you are going to be getting a lot of Drednaws with Chewtles. So if you are going to try to hunt for Drednaw or Chewtle, this is actually going to be one of the best, if not the best way to actually hunt this thing. And sure, the shiny sandwich is not going to boost the odds on the Chewtle, but you still have a shiny charm going. And with this amount of spawns and walking around, you may actually get really lucky and get the Chewtle. I actually did this on a stream just the other day, and we actually ended up getting the shiny Chewtle and not the Drednaw, just because the amount of spawns of Chewtle you're seeing, and with some good RNG in the shiny charm, is really going to give you a decent chance at that shiny. Of course, the shiny odds are definitely boosted for that Drednaw too, so technically you have a better chance of getting the shiny Drednaw, but you know, you only get 1 for every cluster versus 4 for every Chewtle that you're seeing. So, but that is our bonus shiny hunt, and that is our last hunt for this video today. And of course, guys, if you like this type of content, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. And of course, if you have any good shiny hunting locations, please let me know. They can be picnic resets, town resets, they can be run around locations like this, or any other exploit. And if it's something cool, I'll cover it on the channel. Just let me know in Discord or in the comment section below. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a great one.